You know, the person that you thought was going to be your soulmate is only your roommate now. You know, a lot of people living like that, man. I lived like that for 13 years, man. Lived in a house with a person who had no feelings at all. I mean, walked around and I would tell this person, I'd be like, I mean, there would be, you know, intimacy and things like that, but you knew that something was way off, that it wasn't the way that it was supposed to be. So, like, I would tell this person on a regular basis, like, I feel like we're just roommates. Like, you know, it would be, there was no affection. I mean, as far as, now, let me tell you this. In the beginning, when we first started dating, early on in the marriage, I mean, it was all kind of affection and stuff, but they do that stuff to pull you in, right? And once you get in and get locked in, it's like it's all over. It's like I would even ask this person, like, why don't you sit on my lap anymore the way you used to? Why don't you hug me like you used to? All of that stuff just ended, right? So you end up being with a person, and if you're like me, I was trying to live by the Bible, right? So I was trying to tell myself that just be patient. I'm gonna keep praying, and this person is gonna change. This person, when you're dealing with a narcissist, you can forget it. When you're dealing with a person who only care about that stuff, you can forget. You can pray all you want to pray because they're demonic and they don't care about your prayers. They don't want to change, right? So you sit and you live in this crazy environment with a person that you're married to, but you know deep down inside there's nothing between y'all. That this person does not feel, this person does not care. This person is somebody that you don't even know. You thought you would end up, like I said, you thought you had your soul. You thought you had your soulmate, but then you end up just having a roommate. How many of y'all got that testimony of, you know, you thought you had somebody that was going to be there the rest of your life with you, and it turned out to be a nightmare?
And always, first and foremost, shout out to the content creator for him sharing his perspectives. I just got to go straight in. I have to go straight in. And it was a couple of different keywords. Let me come up a little bit. It was a couple keywords that I heard, man. But let's back it up really quick. He was with the young lady or his wife or whoever he was with for 13 years, right? And he even said, "Hey, it started off good, then all of a sudden things changed." Right? He stopped getting infection. He asked, "Hey, why you don't sit in my lap a certain way? I feel like we're just roommates." And then it even take another turn. He started pushing blame, right? And then another turn on top of that was he started name calling. Oh, she's a narcissist, this and that. And it's like, how did it start from so great? This is the person that you chose, right? Through you doing your vetting process as a man. And then all of a sudden, 13 years later, this person a narcissist. Oh, this person to blame. We're roommates. They don't sit in my lap like they used to, right? Oh, I tried to follow the Bible 100% and I tried to pray on it. Praying is one thing, but a lot of times, see, this is what I don't like, man. And this is, I have to always say this. This is not me trying to appeal to women. This is not me trying to be we yes. This is not me trying to cater to women. Man, we got to take accountability, man. We have to. He looked like a good brother. Like he keep himself up. He got a clean haircut. You know what I mean? Got some stylish shades. But along the line, bro, it seemed like even the way his delivery, his energy, he seemed like he's comfortable, right? And that's where he messed up. It seemed like out of 13 years, and again, I don't know the backstory, but just the energy he's giving. And also, let me just speak to not just his situation, because again, I don't know 100%, but let me speak to men in general situations who I do know about, and just across different testimonies that other guys shared their story. Too many men get comfortable. They think once they get in a relationship, they think once they get married that they've won the game. You got it twisted. Nobody educated y'all. Listen, that's when the game start. You understand? That's when it starts. That's not when it's finished. You have to constantly grow. You have to constantly improve to keep yourself attractive, to keep her interested, to keep her desire up for you. That's just in a way the woman's nature. You know what I'm saying? It's too many options out here. It's too much access to distractions, to other guys that she really wants. And so if you're not positioning yourself, if you're not keeping yourself at a certain status, and not even like financially, but in her eyes, as far as a valuable man, then yeah, she's gonna be turned off. And therefore, if you're not on your purpose, if you're not on your grind a certain way, she's gonna treat you like a roommate. And if you're not putting in a certain amount of work, trust me, that's what happens. Right. And that's just how it goes. And like I said, I've had my slight experience with it. But I'm not blaming my partner on that. Or I'm blaming myself because I let myself get comfortable, right? I let myself get that desire lowered out of her eyes because I wasn't putting in the work. You follow me? And so now that that's not the case anymore, that desire was like a fire. It put gasoline to the fire and it's back lit. You follow me? So along the lines, nobody told you, hey, bro, what you're doing isn't working. Just praying on it ain't working. Just living it a certain way. You may want to live strictly by the Bible in her eye, but she may not want to live like so. At that point, you guys not on the same page. You follow me? So you gotta, as a man, we have to start pushing blame because all of a sudden I put in all this work to get this young woman, and now that I got her, I can be comfortable, right? That ain't what it is. That is just the start of the race. You courting her, you taking her out and stuff like that. That's just the training wheels for you to put on before you take them off and you go into marriage and you go the long journey of a lasting relationship. But that ride is going to continue. You just don't get the bike and it's like, oh, I don't got to ride it no more. No, you got to constantly pedal. That's just the way it is for men. The same the way that every day the sun comes up and goes down, it doesn't stop. It don't just one day the sun come up and that's just it. No, it's a constant cycle, right? The seasons change. It's a constant cycle of growth, rebirth. You have to be the same way. And too many men don't got comfortable. And that's just what it is. So number one for this guy, man, he has to take accountability. The fact that, and this is how I know he hasn't, the fact that he started pointing fingers, blaming the young lady. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that there probably isn't any fault on her end, right? But for you to come on here and be like, it's her fault, she's a narcissist, this and that. It's like, she went all that 13 years ago when you met her. She didn't finesse you. 13 years? Nah, bro. That's him not taking accountability. And these are the men right here who need to reset and get their mind right and focus in on them. That way they can better themselves. And I guarantee if he was with her and he internally started to personal develop again, keep building in life, it doesn't stop. There's no end goal to it. The sky's not the limit. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep going. But that's my take, man. It's just sad to see that when guys point the finger, point the blame, and they don't point it back at themselves. Like, man, you know what? If I was doing X, Y, Z, outside of the quote unquote cultural norms, then I believe that these type of scenarios would be better. Again, I don't know the full story, but from what it sounds like, it just sounds like a lot of lack of accountability, a lot of finger pointing. It seems like he just needs some. He's hurt, right? You can tell he's hurt. The fact that for any man to get the name called and stuff like that, listen, man, bro, he got to step up. For any guys who watching this, listen, take accountability first. Ask yourself, why didn't I? Why is it that it got to that point? How did it get to that point? What did I not do in the situation? Right? And if you really, your true heart of hearts feel like, look, man, I kept myself in shape. I kept myself growing with my career, with building skills, with maybe a business I was trying to build, with spending quality time, with, showing up for that person in other ways outside of traditional norms. If you really feel like you dotted all those I's, cross all those T's, then you can start to point the finger at the other person. But if you didn't do your own work first, I don't want to hear it, man. For 13 years, and then all of a sudden this person was this and that, nah, man, that don't fly over here. So anyway, y'all drop a comment below. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Man, crazy to hear guys talk like this. It's just crazy, man. Subscribe to the Husband Code. If it's your first time, if you've been watching for a while, subscribe as well. Also hit the notification bell because we're going to continue to drop videos like this all the time. And also hit that thumbs up if you got any value. And until next time, I appreciate you guys. Much love. Peace.